welcome back to our episode. Ryan and Kevin here with Chaos MMA, and today we have on Robbie Ring, who fights on Dana White's Contender Series next week. Robbie, man, how's the day for you today?
Oh, it's going good, man. Just finished up a practice, going through some drill and some last minute preparations for the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the fight being 1 week out, how are you feeling? Are you just kind of going through drills? Are you running through like just practices, film? Like, what's it kind of like 1 week out now?
Uh, you know, I kind of got that mindset to always push hard. I probably go a little bit harder than most do a week out. But we're also training smart to avoid, getting cut or something like that this close to a fight. But right now, man, I feel great. I'm in shape and my mind's right, and I'm just excited now.
Yeah, it's good, Robbie. You're feeling great. But I just want to reverse a little bit. When you first got that initial call for the fight, what was your reaction to the fight? And like, what was your initial reactions to it? How did you feel?
Yeah, so whenever my manager Jason House he sent me a text message. It was like we got an opportunity for the Contender Series, and man, I was like, I looked at my wife and I said, "Let's go." I
Yeah.
didn't even know who the opponent was yet. I was just already chomping at the bit to get in there. After I seen Luis Puello fight and watched the film on him, I felt pretty good about the matchup. I think it was a great matchup for me because it's a typical striker versus grappler kind of fight. So I always like those matchups.
Yeah, so we've been seeing you've been putting in some hard work, especially for this fight. Do you believe that hard work is paying off for you?
Yes, 100%. I teach the kids classes here at my family's gym, and I tell the kids all the time that if you want to be great at something, it starts with working hard. All of my fights, I try to push as hard as I can, but this one's just been next level. I've got a lot of people stepping up and helping me, and it's the best camp I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, all the hard work's putting in, all your previous fights, you got the job done undefeated. Now visualize it, a week out, you're about to walk out for the Contender Series fight, big moment for you. Sign with the UFC. What do you think you're gonna be feeling before the walkout? Nerves, excited, kind of mix of both. How you think you'll be feeling?
I definitely say there'll be a few nerves before I walk out because if you're not nervous when you're about to step into an octagon, you probably shouldn't be doing it. I'll be feeling a little bit of nerves, but mostly excitement. This is what I love to do. I mean, this is my passion. It's my life. A lot of excitement to actually get to that point and finally get to go in there and get the job done.
Yeah, and you get in there. How do you see this playing out? We know Dana White, whenever there's like a finish on the Contender Series, they always get that contract usually. Last week Dana gave out five, all the fighters got a contract. We'll find out tonight how many he gives out, but what's your official prediction?
I'm going in there and I'm looking for the finish. I'm going to fight smart. I'm going to put everything together. Hopefully, most of my fights I haven't got to display any of my striking because I've got it to the ground and found a finish that way. But I'm looking forward. I know that Puello, he likes to stand in the pocket and bang, so it should be an opportunity for me to show that I've got some striking. I honestly see myself breaking him in the first beginning of the second round with my pressure, and then look to get a finish, whether that's a knockout or a submission.
Can't wait.
Robbie, everything goes good for you. You end the fight. Dana White comes to you. Robbie, you got a contract. What does that mean to you if you can solidify a UFC contract?
Oh, it would mean everything to me. I've been dreaming of fighting in the UFC since I was 8 years old. I've been doing martial arts my whole life. I started doing traditional martial arts, Tang Sudo Karate, at 3 years old. Probably was running around a little hectic at that age, but I was in here doing it. It would really show me that all this hard work truly did pay off, and I would have accomplished my life goals of being in the UFC.
For sure.
So, like I was saying before, everything goes perfect for you. You get your UFC contract. Is there any opponents, specific people you want to have your debut against in the UFC? Is there anybody you have on your mind? I know you don't want to look past your fight. You got a big fight coming up, but is there anything
Yeah,
on your mind?
I've got this question before, and everybody loves my response to this. I don't know if it would get to be my debut fight, but man, I'm a huge I was a huge Dominic Cruz fan growing up, and when Cody Garbrandt defeated Dominic Cruz for the championship, man, I'm not gonna lie, it really did piss me off a little bit. So I would love to fight Cody Garbrandt. I'm fighting 145 on the Contender Series, but I can make 135 pounds. I have before. Um, that would probably be my go-to fight. And if I get some eyes on me after the Contender Series, I might even say, hey, I want to fight Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah,
That'd be a good fight for me
That'd
too.
be a good fight.
Yeah,
yeah.
it would be a
Yeah,
lot of
but
eyes.
you just pulled out off this card we have coming up this week. That bums me out.
Oh yeah, I know. And I was looking. I like Cody Garbrandt. It's nothing against him. It's just because he beat my boy. But I love watching him fight. He's kind of on he's having a rough time in the UFC right now. I was kind of hoping that he could get in there and get a win, but injuries happen, man. So I pray for him that he heals up good.
Yeah, maybe down the line, you, Cody, great fight on the pay-per-view, or maybe too, that'd be a great fight. And now, last thing before we get into our little segment, how does this sound though? You get this win, maybe MSG in November, that card's stacked out, it's mine, just to be on that card with all the fans, all the eyes. What do you think about that?
Oh man, that would be amazing. I'm one of those guys that I just love fighting so much that they could tell me that I needed to come back in 3 weeks and fight, and I'd be like, let's do it. I train year round. Of course, I might not be in a fight camp year round, but I'm constantly training 6 days a week, every week. So I always stay in pretty good shape. So it doesn't take me long to get into that peak fight shape. So anywhere, that I know that UFC 300. Hopefully, I could stack up some wins and be a part of an historic event for the UFC because that would be amazing. Imagine that UFC 300 and
They're
Robbie.
definitely stacking that card up.
Oh yes, sir.
Big card.
Yeah, I mean, UFC 300, I think that's going to be like next summer or something, or around there. Let's get you on that card. But for
Oh,
you,
yeah.
little segment we do at the end for the fans to get to know you better. We just ask you quick questions, and first thing that comes to your mind, you just say it. Are you ready?
It's
Yes,
quick.
sir.
All right. You get to spend a day out hanging. You get to spend a day hanging out with 3 UFC fighters. Who you hanging out with?
Max Holloway, Dominic Cruz, and Justin Gaethje.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
All right, so next one is your dream fight. You just said Cody Garbrandt. So besides Cody Garbrandt, or I'm sorry, Dominic Cruz. Besides Dominic Cruz, name another one.
Dream fight would probably have to be. Gosh, this is gonna sound horrible, but I would probably have to say Sean O'Malley, just because that guy right there. I don't know. I don't like his hair.
What don't you like?
That has to be a new. I'm telling you, if you get this win, you can be the next Contender Series guy, and that could be a big fight one day.
Yes, sir.
The king of the Contender Series, maybe.
That's right.
The last couple ones, funniest fighter in the UFC.
Derek Lewis, hands down.
Yeah, that's a good.
The most annoying fighter in the UFC.
That's definitely Sean O'Malley.
I like it. Best striker.
Best striker. Oh man,
Current, active.
active striker. I would have to probably say. Oh man, y'all gave me a hard one. Let's go ahead and say Leon Edwards.
I like it.
That one. Best grappler.
Well, he's not active, but it definitely was Habib. But probably now active Islam.
Islam, yeah,
Islam.
I like that one too. And last one, where do you see yourself in a year from now?
In a year from now, I'd like to see myself in the top 15 of either bantamweight or featherweight, wherever I decide to call home. But definitely top 15. Get 3 good fights in there, maybe 4, and start trying to work my way up. That should be everybody's goal in the UFC.
Yes, sir. I mean, Robbie.
I just want to ask one thing. So, what would you prefer, 135 or 145? Because I mean, you're not exactly a small guy. Because I feel like that's a hard weight cut for you down to 35, right?
Yes, it is a hard weight cut, and another thing that I have to think about is my style of fighting is pretty ground based. You know, I like to grapple. I like to put people on their backs. And if you notice, the difference between 135ers and 145ers is 135-pound fighters are really, really hard to hold down because they're just so shifty and quick. I like fighting at 145 because I might give up a little bit of size, but I make that up in speed. I guess that I'll just see how I feel in there. I fought Jacob Kilburn, an ex-UFC vet, at 145 and felt like a tank in there. So if I keep feeling good at 45, I'll stay there. But if anything changes, I can make 35. But like you said, it's a harder weight cut for me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Well, Robbie, for you, good luck for your fight next weekend. Tune in, guys. August 22nd, going to be a great fight. And if you want to thank any sponsors, shout out any social media, man. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you. First off, every chance that I get, I want to give all the glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I always say that I'm dedicated with my training, but I'm also dedicated with my faith, and I truly believe that God has a part in this, and that He's given me the opportunity to compete on Dana White's Contender Series. So I'd like to thank my parents. They're my head coaches. Fun fact is I'm going to be the first fighter on the Contender Series to have not just their dad, but their mom and dad be in their corners.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, both of my parents are lifelong martial artists. They very knowledgeable in the sport. So really want to give a huge shout out to them, my team, Ring Combat Sports, and just a few sponsors. I'm not going to name them all, but I'll name a few. Choice Physical Therapy, Chris Fox at Berkshire Hathaway. I'd like to thank Varney Construction and Back 40 Storage. Thank you all. These guys have been with me from the beginning of my professional career, and they've stuck with me until I'm fighting for Dana White's Contender Series. So thank y'all, and thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. Really,
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, we'll catch up after the fight, Robbie. Good luck. We'll be tuned in.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one. Peace.